Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Ritesh Parkar. In this video, I will discuss about ISOs and its implementation for chemical process and reactor design. In this video, I am going to submit my assignment to the International FDP on Environment and Sustainability, which has a tagline of Open Education for a Better World. In this second video of this International FDP, I am going to discuss about how the ISOs are implemented to my course content in chemical engineering. In the first week, I have submitted my video in which I have discussed about how the process modeling and simulation can establish a link for environment and sustainability in terms of process as well as reactor design. The same one you have already seen on my YouTube video. So in the second week, my task is to explain about what exactly the ISOs are, how they are going to affect my content of chemical engineering, especially reactor design or process development. So in the second week of International FDP on Environment and Sustainability, we are going to deal with different kind of ISOs. Same one which was discussed in the first week also. So in order and in continuation with all the discussion which is made in the International FDP on Environment and Sustainability, now I am going to discuss about the ISOs. So there are almost 17 goals you may be able to see on the screen. So it contributes to the sustainable developments. Okay, so there are number 1 to number 17 goals. So the first one contributes to the no poverty. Second one, it is for zero hunger. Third, it is for good health and well-being. Fourth one is for quality education to all. Fifth one, gender equality. Sixth, clean water and sanitization. Seventh one is affordable and clean energy. Eighth one, decent work and economic growth. Ninth one is industry innovation and infrastructure. Next one is reduced inequalities. Whereas number 11 goal is sustainable cities and communities. Number 12th goal is responsible consumption and production. The 13th comes with climate action, whereas life below the water and on the land is the goal number 14 and 15. Whereas the goal number 16 of ISO, which contributes to the peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last goal of ISOs, which contributes to the sustainable development, is partnerships for these goals. So, in line to this, my work I'm going to dedicate in chemical engineering as reduce, reuse, and recycle, the ISO 14001. Okay, so the discussion which I have made earlier, it is for reactor design and process optimization. So which are the things which I can reduce, which I can reuse, and which I can recycle that can give environment and its sustainability. Okay, so let us move forward. Let us say I'm having a reactor in which raw material is being fed and end product is to be collected. So the journey of end product from its raw material into a finished product will goes from several steps. Out of that, I took only 2 steps which can be optimized or which can be taken care. So the first one is energy and the second one is skill labor. So in order to discuss about environment and sustainability, energy is one of the most and prime object. Okay, so there are several things which we can highlight in this case. So how much amount of energy is required, how much skill labor will require in order to get the efficiency, so on and so forth. So the idea behind the studying this topic of process design and development for environment and sustainability is which are the systems are available till now, those are contributing to the pollution. Sometimes ozone layer depletion and pollution in terms of different media. Okay, so if I had to look for the reactor system only where I can minimize or reduce the environment pollution, or I can reduce the utilities, or I can reduce the space. So that can be achieved with the help of process intensification. It is known as PI. So this is one of the main objective of any chemical process to intensify the process. So the objective of this international FDP on environment and sustainability is to reduce the consumption of energy or carbon footprint. In the terms of chemical engineering, process intensification serves the same purpose, where process intensification is divided into two sections. The first one is either in terms of equipments, and the second one is in terms of methods. So one can reduce the capacity of the process or increase the capacity of a process in terms of equipment. So equipments can contribute with or without chemical reactions. Methods, what we can do? We can have several methods in a single unit. So it will be a multifunctional. You may have a hybrid kind of methods in a single process that can increase the efficiency of the system and may reduce the utilities along with the manpower required. Okay, and hybrid, it gives a combination of two different methods to get an efficient system. So likewise, there are different kind of methods and equipments are available which can contribute to the environment and sustainability. Okay, so what is our aim? If we are studied about process design or reactor design, at the end we have to look for process integration or process intensification. Both the terms can give the same output but in the different way. Okay, and very important, if we have to go to achieve the ISO goals which I have listed earlier, the important parameter is this, that means carbon footprint, the human activity by which we are going to increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the nature or atmosphere, that we need to monitor. But if we discuss in terms of process intensification, we can reduce this carbon footprint, and this is what we require at this point of time. So I feel for the submission of second week of this international FDP on environment and sustainability, I feel this is one of the best example as far as my knowledge is concerned to discuss about reactor and process design. Okay, so just to summarize what I have discussed in this second video for international FDP on environment and sustainability, why this reactor design is important, because when you will do the simulation, time requirement will be less. So the first part, you are going to reduce the time. Second, it is less hazardous. Likewise, when you are doing the designing or simulation of any process, you need not to work in field itself. So the hazardness is decreased. Okay, so the human beings are not going to expose to the system. The third one is accurate reading. When you are doing the designing and simulation, there is always chance to give the accurate result up to 99.99%, let's say. Okay, and the third, let's say fourth one, where we are going to reduce the pollution. So that is the ultimate goal. We have to reduce the pollution, either it may be in any terms. Okay, and very important, in order to study in terms of carbon footprint, we have to reduce the consumption of energy. That means energy should be saved. So design simulation aspect will provide you to reduce or save the energy. And very important, the design aspect or modeling and simulation aspect of any process or a reactor, it will require less resources as compared to the on-field erection or fabrication process, which is maybe lab scale. So this is the six-fold process of design where I think environment and sustainability comes into picture when I had to discuss about the ISOs. Okay, thank you very much everyone for watching my video.